because there's just certain things that are hurtful. There's chaotic things that go on inside my head that have no business being discussed except through my friends before I discuss them with my wife. Welcome back to another episode of Life, Recovery, and the Pursuit of Sanity. It has been a little bit of time since I have made a video, partly because I really didn't know what to talk about. I was, in my head, and I'm just trying to be honest. But today I want to discuss the importance of having people in your life to help you through. Friends, you may call them, close friends, I like to call them, people that are there for when you are having, not necessarily always, crises, but when you got, maybe craziness going on in your head, you just need someone to talk to, people that you can bounce ideas off of, and for people that you can help too. That friendship is supposed to be a two-way street. Now, when I say friends, under no circumstances am I ever talking about friends of the opposite sex. As a matter of fact, close friends that you have, your number three in your circle of relationships, they need to be people of the same sex. So for me, I have guys that I call, that I talk to, that I share the intimate things of my life with. And there's not that many that I have, but I have some. And those guys know very deep things about me, the things that go on inside of my head. And the importance of having those people in your life is, we are not made to do life by ourselves. We are not created to go through life alone. We're created for relationship. We're created to coexist with other people. And so, if you have close friends of the opposite sex, then I would question your motives first and foremost. I would also say that there's probably a good chance that there's maybe some hurt in your past. If you don't trust people of the same sex, then you've been hurt and you haven't dealt with that hurt. Or you are a snake and you're just trying to get into people's pants if you're a man. Because really there's no purpose, especially in marriage. If you're married, you do not have close friends with people that are the opposite sex. You can have acquaintances, you can have friendly conversation, you can have working relationships with people of the opposite sex. But if you're in a relationship, you do not have friends that are the opposite sex. In life, we're going to have things that we deal with, things that happen to us, things that will throw us off, say, our game or from the norm. And we need people in our lives that we can rely on, that we can talk to, that we can trust. Confident people. We don't want to be using people that gossip. And one of the ways that I know, this a little 10-cent information for you for free. Here's a good indication for me of a person that talks too much. If you find yourself sharing more information and it almost seems super easy to share, and they seem to talk a lot, especially about other people, then that's a good indication that that's not a trustworthy person. And especially if they build you up, if they build you up while tearing other people down, what they're actually doing is the exact opposite when you're not around. They're tearing you down while they're building the other person up. You do not want to talk to those people. If you are talking to people that they really don't have anything good to say, and everything that you talk about is gossip, then good indication they're not trustworthy people. And so you really, I mean, it is hard to find people that you can rely on. But when you find those people, you want to nurture those relationships. So for me, I have a good friend that lives in Texas that I don't always talk to him all the time, but I call him at least once every other week or so. And he tries to call me, but something's going on with my phone, and I guess he can't get through. So, and then on Monday nights, I have a group of men that we talk, and we go through just events of our lives, the things that we're struggling with, the things that we've overcome, and then they share too, and we are able to help them through, and and so having these people in your life is so vital, because a lot of times, especially for married people, we tend to use our kids as sounding boards. Not okay. There does need to be a parent-child relationship. Does that mean that you have to be always be the authoritative figure? No. If you're always the authoritative figure, then that's bad. They'll rebel. If you're always their friend, that's bad, because then they won't respect you. There's a fine line of having a good relationship with your kids, but that's a whole nother topic, and that we will discuss, because that is so important. Relationships with our kids, and then with a relationship with our significant other. There are certain things that I will not talk about with my wife, or I will talk about with my close friends, to help organize some of the mess that's going on inside of my skull before I talk to my wife, because there's just certain things that are hurtful. There's chaotic things that go on inside my head that have no business being discussed except through my friends before I discuss them with my wife, because I'm not wanting to ruin my relationship with my wife. And not everything that happens inside this head needs to be said. There's some things I just need to shut the up about. Really, that's the bottom line. So, find friends. Now, if you can't find friends, well, you might be not getting out enough. Maybe you should get a counselor. Maybe you should start going to church. Stay away from the bars, stay away from the clubs, stay away from the places where only shallow things are talked about. Sharing your life story with somebody at the club is probably not the healthiest thing to do. Sharing your life story with the person down the street or your neighbor is probably not the best thing to do. You need to find people that are close to you, people that you can trust, people that will build you up, and that you can build up as well, because it's not just a one-way street. We need to nurture these relationships and cherish them in a way, because there are times that we will need to rely on them. And let's face it, we live in a selfish, self-centered world where everybody only thinks of themselves, everybody only cares about themselves. Look on Facebook, see how many selfies people are posting. It just goes to show we are a self-centered people right now, and that's really all there is to it. So it is difficult to find people that you can trust, but they're out there. I promise you, because I have found them, and if I can find them, so can you. It is so important. I cannot stress it enough. I appreciate you watching this video. If you have made it this far, go ahead and say in the comments, I made it. And for those that don't comment that, I'll know that you didn't make it this far. Give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing so you don't miss another episode of Life, Recovery, and the Pursuit of Sanity, because we all need it. I don't care who you are. Until next time, peace. And so, I just want to encourage you. God dang, man. Dang dog was barking like a madman. I didn't know what was going on. Freaking dog. Man, I was like right in the middle of a flow. Now I don't know where I was. I really don't know where I was. So I'm just going to kind of like just go on from where... I don't know. So, friendship, close friends, opposite sex. That's where we're going to start from again because my dang dogs are going nuts.